Hey guys, Frances here, and ready to share with you an exercise that's going to focus on balance, hip opening, and focus all together. So we'll take a more challenging pose, a normally more challenging pose. We're going to break it down and see, well, what do I get out of doing this if I'm not wanting to do the big challenging pose or maybe not able to? So this is a great way for beginners to prep for this pose. It's called Flying Crow. We're not actually going to go into the whole big pose, but I'll show you why it's important for all of us that we can gain benefit from this pose. All right, here we go. So we're going to start by just taking a comfortable stance. We'll soften the knees a little bit. Shift your weight into your left foot. Lift the right leg and bring the heel across and up and come back down. That's step one. So shift, lift, heel comes up. I want you to imagine for a second that you're playing hacky sack here. Shift, lift. Now, this is already good for balance and already a little bit of lateral rotation, right, on the leg that's moving. Let's do one more like that. Now, let's get ready for the second side. So softness in the knees, a little bent knee action going on there, which is actually very therapeutic for the knees, by the way. If you have any knee issues, it's very useful and helpful to work with a bent knee as well for strength. Watch your knee is tracking as best as you can. And just, again, doing our little hacky sack movement. So if you're having challenge with balance, then that's a great move to do just in and of itself. So you can keep going with that one. If you want to go a little further, we'll go a little further. So we shift, we lift, we catch the shin bone in our hands, and then we come back down. 3 more like that. Shift, lift, catch, and come down. Right? Shift, lift, catch. As we start to get into this one a little more, we can begin to become aware of what's happening in our pelvis. Am I tucking when I do this? Ultimately, we're going to want to imagine you have a wheel on either side of the pelvis, and we go tush out, chest out, feeling a little bit. So we're going to fold at the hip crease as we progress into this practice here. So let's do the second side. Shift, lift, catch. Am I tucked, or can I start to already stick my tush out a little bit and down? Right, just become aware of deep hip creases as you do this. Right? If you are challenged with that, then just focus on catching the shin bone. One more, shift, lift, catch, and come down. Next one. All right, again, we're going to work that pelvis a little more because we're going to come a little further down into this one. So shift your weight into your left foot, shift, lift, catch. Place your shin bone on your thigh, tush out, chest out. And down. 3 more like that. Shift, lift, catch, and sit. Spilling water out of the front of the pelvic fold for 2 more like this. Make sure your bottom knee feels okay. Ideally, it's tracking right over the second toe. 1 more like this. Shift, lift, catch, and sink. Next side. Ground yourself first 4 times. Here we go. Shift, lift, catch. So you can work this progression, right? And work on balance. Lateral rotation, which a lot of times we think of hip opening in general as that laterally rotated position in the leg that is the knee out. Hip opening is actually more 3-dimensional than that, but a lot of times we think of it like that. So sinking here, tush out, chest out. Okay, next progression. Ready? So I'm going to scoot back a little bit so that I have a little room to potentially maybe put my hands on my mat, maybe. We'll see. Okay. So shifting your weight into your left foot, shift, lift, catch, sink. Next step, palms touching, forearms on your shin bone. Right? Either stay there or slide your elbows in front of your shin bone and start to sink down, 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 down. Remember, tush out here. Okay, let's do 3 more like that on the same side. Okay, ready? Shift, lift, catch, sink, elbows to shin bone, connecting your upper arms to your shin bone here, flexing the top leg foot. Really keep the connection, and you just try to get down lower. You're going to feel a nice stretch in that upper outer glute area. Let's do 2 more on this side, sinking down. If you lose your balance, it's okay. The success is in the doing. We have 1 left on this side. Lengthen the breath as you are moving through this. Yeah, let's do the next side. Ready? 4 on this side. So I think we're going to wrap it up after we do the 4 on this side and have that be as far as we go Ready? Here we go. Shift, lift, catch, sink. Widen the soles of the sole of your foot that's on the floor. Slowly come out with control. Do it again. Upper arms connecting to that shin bone. If you need to fall out, it's A-okay. 2 left to go. If you're having trouble with the balance, you can stand on a more stable surface, or you might take the yoga mat away altogether and be on the wood floor. Okay. Breathe here. Now make sure your upper arms and your shin bone are really connecting nice and solid there. Okay, so we're going to kind of wrap this up here and make that our end goal for the moment. If we were to move on, we might get into a place where we're connecting and then we start to bring our hands to the floor. But we'll save that for another time. And just have this focus really be about building our balance, opening up the hips in a more dynamic way, and bringing us to a nice, solid focus. So this is great for one of those days when you just feel like you're all over the place. Ooh, do some standing balances, and hopefully you're gonna feel a lot better and more focused, all right? I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to hit subscribe. If you do that, then you're gonna be aware of the next videos coming out, and hopefully those will be very helpful for you. Thanks so much, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.